like what Rand Paul's got in the Senate, but we'll see.
Have you seen some of these photos that Democrats on the House Oversight Committee put out this morning from the Epstein estate?
I have not.
Generally, the DOJ is on the clock. They have less or just about a week to comply with your law and release the files. Do you have faith that the Department of Justice will do that and comply with the law?
I've been encouraged. They went back to the three judges and asked them to release grand jury material in light of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. And all three judges have reversed their prior stance, but for a good reason. They cite the Epstein Files Transparency Act. So you've got three grand juries that are going to release all their materials, redacted with the victims' names, to the DOJ. So it's a good sign that the DOJ went back and asked for that grand jury material.
If DOJ doesn't release the files it has by next Friday, is there anything Congress can do to compel that to happen?
Well, I mean, it's a crime if they don't. It's not like they're in contempt of Congress because they didn't respond to a subpoena. This is a new law with, criminal implications if they don't follow it. But I was encouraged, again, by the fact that they went back to these three judges and got the judges to release the grand jury material to the DOJ.
Thank you,
Is that grand jury material enough, do you think,
No.
to comply with the law?
No, the grand jury material is just a small fraction of what the DOJ needs to release, because the FBI and DOJ probably has evidence that they chose not to take to the grand jury, because the evidence they're in possession of would implicate other people, not Epstein or Maxwell. So the grand jury material is probably going to just be mostly facts and evidence that was used to convict those two. And what we want to see are the facts and evidence that the FBI and the DOJ have never given to a grand jury.
Congressman, what's your response to the news that Ford and SK are parting ways on the huge battery park project in Kentucky?
My response to that is, if you've got a good business model, you should invest. And if your business model relies on government subsidies, you should think twice before investing. So I think they bet the farm on Donald Trump not winning, and that Biden or Kamala Harris would still be here, and that all those subsidies would be in place. So I feel bad that we're going to lose that business, but it was a business propped up on a lie that consumers are just begging for electric cars.
Governor Beshear saying Congressman Guthrie didn't do enough to protect that industry and through his support of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Do you believe that Congress or the president plays a role in this?
The elections play a role in this. And again, it was a business model that never worked, and it was going to be propped up by the taxpayers. And so it's actually probably a good thing for the taxpayers that they're not propping up a business model that doesn't work. And unfortunately, we're going to lose that business, but there are other legitimate businesses that can be pursued in Kentucky.
Congressman, I'm sorry for coming in a little bit late, but I wonder, when you see these now concurrent lanes of the ongoing Epstein investigation, DOJ eventually going to have to comply in some form or fashion, and then of course the new information released today by Democrats on the Oversight Committee, your reaction to the way that this is unfolding and the effort that you in part touched off?
So I guess there are three concurrent things going on. There's the Oversight Committee, there is the Judicial Branch, which is going to release the grand jury material, and then there's the material that the FBI and the DOJ possesses. I think it's all moving very quickly. It's accelerated toward the end, and contrary to some of the claims about the bill, that it wouldn't have the intended effect or that it would compromise the victim's privacy, what we're seeing now is that the bill is working.
Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman.
Thanks.
Congressman.